What's going on, everybody out there? It's Ron Brown, LMT, the People's Fitness Professional, aka Soul Brother number 3. Soul Brother number 3 in the building. Number 3 to Sheik Denim L, because he's Soul Brother number 2. Now, who's Soul Brother number 1?
James Brown, brother.
I knew that's who you were saying, but I didn't think that's, you know what I mean? I thought it was more complicated than that.
Oh, no, it ain't complicated.
Soul Brother number 1, James Brown. So today we're talking about the unseen, right? We're talking about the unseen forces. Do they exist, right? Do demons and these, entities exist? Do they exist, or is it spookism? You know what I mean? So, I got wizards, warlocks, spooks, and holy ghosts from the jizza. What is it called? The G-O-D. What's the name of that song? The G-O-D. The G-O-D. Qualify those wants to try the G-O-D.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Wizards, warlocks, spooks, and holy ghosts. RZA, let's defraud the host. And when it steps out of his place, then it gets smacked in the face. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Peace, King Mathallah. Peace, King Mathallah. I don't know if anyone else has what I have in my supreme alphabets, or Born You Truth. In my supreme alphabets, it talks about Allah, being, God of all worlds, Lord of all worlds, seen and unseen, right? And I always wondered, swordsman. And my supreme alphabet, it says, Lord of all worlds, seen and unseen. And when it says unseen, I always thought, like, unseen, what is that saying? What is that really talking about? What is unseen? It could be something else. Any other gods, if they have that in their alphabets, they could add on. However, from my experience, with the way I grew up, my mother, my mother, she deals with, like, her ancestral roots when it comes to voodoo and all of that, voodoo, etc. And hold on 1 second. Greetings from oh yes, NC, Amber Hill L, Islam more. So from my perspective, the voodoo thing and all that was always around, and I always wondered, like, what's the science behind that? You know what I'm saying? And at a point, I just deemed it as spookism. You know what I'm saying? But later on, I found out that this is an occult teaching, right? This is an occult world, and I just never really dove deep into it to have a full understanding of it. So that's why we brought Sheik Denim L today to build on it. So peace to you, brother Sheik Denim L. Hope all is well with you. I trust all is well with you. Thank you for coming out this evening. I really appreciate you and your words of wisdom. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, thank you for being here, brother. For having me. But
Indeed.
Yeah, I mean, you just mentioned voodoo, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, to some people, that's spooky. You know what I'm saying? Because when you don't have knowledge of a particular thing, it can become spooky. It can become something that you would just draw up and perceive it from your own understanding, lacking knowledge of it. We talk about things, a lot of times people talk about stuff they have no knowledge of all the time, as if they're experts. You know what I'm saying? So it's something that's very, very common, because we regurgitate the things that we may hear, or even if we're very religious people, religion teaches very strongly against what we will call the occult. You know what I mean? And the word occult simply means hidden. It's nothing scary about the word. It just means hidden. It just means knowledge that you haven't been exposed to. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. That's what the occult is: hidden knowledge, or knowledge that you have not been exposed to, man. You know what I'm saying? And you mentioned earlier about Allah being the Lord of the worlds. Worlds is plural. So that, that's a plural word, right? So that's more than one world, right?
Right.
Yeah. The Lord of all of the worlds, seen and unseen. Well, now when you're dealing with seen and unseen, you got to remember the human being only has so much capacity to see with his physical eyes. There's only so much you can see that you can pick up with your eyes, because the way your eyes vibrate at a particular rate of speed and a particular rate dealing with light. You know what I'm saying? We can only see so much. So just the things around us that we can't see. There's unseen things going on around us at all times. Now dealing with the unseen worlds, now you're talking interdimensional. Or you're also talking about just other galaxies that you'll never physically see with your eyes, or probably get a chance to travel to, physically fly to, or whatever. But that word unseen can be vast and can be drawn up to define, or to be defined or expressed in a couple of ways. Yeah, you understand what I mean?
Okay. Yes, for sure, for sure. Okay. So you said it could be expressed in a couple of ways.
Yeah, and I just gave a couple. I mentioned unseen being something right here on this plane with the physical eyes that we can't see. Also,
Right.
maybe other planets and other worlds or galaxies that we'll never be able to physically see with our own eyes, or even physically get to go there, but maybe can go there astrally. Who knows? And then you got the unseen, where you're just dealing interdimensionally. Things happen in dimensions. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
we have planes of dimensions and things that's stacked as well. Third dimension, fourth dimension, fifth dimension, dimensional things as well.
Okay. Okay. So what's your experience with the occult?
Oh, it's just like I said earlier, it's hidden knowledge. It just means hidden knowledge, and I'm a student of many things, man. I have a history with the occult. Um, dealing with certain things, dealing with you mentioned ancestral information, ancestral knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with the elements, dealing with natural magic, sympathetic magic, things of that nature, man.
Okay. So were like for what I know, like I was dabbling with the Santeria a while back. I was like in my 20s. I was
Okay.
just trying to, just doing the knowledge like at that time, just doing the knowledge of everything. And I've experienced some things where I watch people uh, you know, dance kind of wild, bite a chicken's head off and and things
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
that's the lower. That's the Orisha. That's what they call the lowers when you're being ridden. It's called being ridden. You know what I'm saying? When the lowers come down and they take your form and they ride you and they begin to express through you. Some people prophecy, some people, like you said, they flip around, roll around, or whatever. But it's no different than going to a Pentecostal church on Sunday and saying the same thing when they
Indeed.
catch the Holy Ghost. They're
Right.
rolling around on the floor. And you know what I mean? And they're speaking in funny languages that nobody can interpret.
Mhm.
See, it's right amongst our own people, right in what you call church. Matter
Right.
of fact, the Pentecostal churches, if you go back into the South, the Pentecostal churches or the strong prayer churches were those women were some of the most advanced specialists in the occult sciences. Those women in those Pentecostal churches with those prayer rooms, and women with them big old hats on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
Mm-hmm.
sure. For sure. So what's the validity to the lowers? Like is that actually happening or people are just hyped up and what's the science behind it? Like
Well, when you witnessed it, what did you see? Did you see it actually happen?
when I witnessed it, it looked wild to me. I've seen it in church, like in Baptist churches. I've seen it before, but this one was a little different because this person was like eating glass.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. That's real. I mean, think about it. If you eating glass, brother. I mean, you can't fake that. You can't fake. I mean, unless you got a prop set up prior. You got
Right.
fake
So like
monkeys.
me, I'm a skeptic of everything.
Yeah, yeah. No doubt. Me too, bro. I mean, I'm skeptical about a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? But there's some things that I've witnessed as well, and that I've experienced. Yeah, I mean that makes me know and understand that there's another whole side of reality that many of us don't deal with, because other demographics or other social institutions have driven us away, and we fear these things, while those same institutions that have driven you away from it utilize it and subdue you through it.
Right. Right. Now, my experience with these energies, for instance, right? For me to like still be curious about it is that not only did I see that ceremony going on where this person was eating glass, bit the chicken's head off. Blood was going everywhere. Like, it was just a wild scene. And then there was 2 instances. One day, I went to this gathering. You know, I was young. I went there for a female. Y'all.
Mhm.
I went there for a female. She was like, I want you to come and check out my church. I said, all right, I'm gonna check out your church, right? So I go to the church, and then and when I go in there, I'm standing there, you know, because at that time I already had knowledge of self. So I'm like, everybody in there 85. So I'm kind of like laughing. I'm laughing. In my mind, I'm not laughing out loud, but I'm laughing in my mind. I'm like, these people are crazy, man. So then I'm standing there at the end of the whole thing, and this guy walked around and he was touching people's foreheads, right? And people were falling out, and I'm laughing like, yo, this shit is like a joke, right, to me. And then he came over to me and touched me in my forehead. Word is born. I fell out. Like I went out. And then I woke up. When I woke up, I just felt like at peace and like really light. And I never understood how that happened. I don't know how that happened. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like these people meditate and all of that for long periods of time, meditate, pray, whatever you want to call it. And they're activating something that we're not dealing with. You get what I'm saying? And I think that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? They're like almost like monks. You know,
Yeah.
like Shaolin monks
Yeah. Yeah.
meditate for long periods of time. They could like touch someone and send electrical, you know, energy throughout their body. You know what I'm saying? To heal. Like I watched a Tai Chi master do that before. You know what I mean? So I think it's all together, like it's all relative. You know what I'm saying? Also,
Mhm.
there was another time when you know, I went to go see my mom. She was in church. I went to go see my mom. I sat in the back, and he said everybody stand up. And he's walking around, and he's giving everybody a hug. He gave me a hug, and bro, like something happened. I don't know what happened. Like after the hug, just like I felt like clean. Like it was just a wild experience. It was a
Well, I mean,
that's why I'm curious, because I think that all of this stuff is relative to the occult sciences.
it is. It is, bro. Because most preachers, a lot of preachers, not I can't say most, but many preachers are initiates of other things, bro. They're
Mm,
initiates of other schools of thought. You know, they belong to other spiritual orders and other societies where other things is taught as well. You know what I mean? And you can cross reference these things. Like you can utilize certain things in religion. You can utilize certain healing techniques and certain healing rituals in any religion because it's healing. You know what I'm saying? It may not come from religion at all, but you could use it in a religion to heal somebody. You see what I mean?
right.
So the religion, the real sciences is what they call pagan or heathen, man. The pagan sciences or the heathen sciences, that's where religion comes from. When you really look at the origin of churches and where they are, where they were built on pagan grounds, man. Many churches sit on grounds where other rituals were held before there was even a religion called Christianity.
Mm,
Many places are built on those same grounds. And then when you look at the churches and you look at the buildings, you know what I mean, you see the flower of life symbolism. You see the elemental symbolisms of life expression, the Fibonacci patterns, and all types of other sacred geometry all over the walls and signs and symbols that have nothing to do with Christianity, but that's all over Christian churches and so on and so forth, man. That's all spells. Those are all rituals.
right. Peace, Crip Jesus. Peace, Crip Jesus. King Math Allah in yoga, they talk about controlling breathing in your mind to a point you can make it rain.
That's a fact.
All the above is caused by the Son of Man. Now, I don't know anybody else's experiences
I
with.
made it rain, brother. I made it rain.
Okay, now check this out. Anybody else, when you in a, like back in the days, me and the guards, we used to build on the corner.
I already know where you're going.
And and like when you're building at certain points, I don't know if you've been through this, but it's like you're not really there physically. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're traveling. And then it start raining though. It start raining. I experienced that twice. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so with the teachings, anybody else have experience with building and this happening? Like,
Yes, I have. Not
and,
only in the build, not only with the gods, but also when I was with an African dance troupe called Shanti Amani. You know what I'm saying? You know, we did a ritual to Shango in the park, and we made it thunder, lightning, and all that. It was a clear summer day out. The clouds came black, all that, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is common things. The Moorish science in the Moorish Holy Quran, chapter 1 of the Moorish Holy Quran is an invocation. Chapter 1 is a method of teaching you how to control lightning, air, fire, water, earth, thunder. All of that is in chapter 1. But people don't understand what chapter 1 is. They just read it, but not understanding that it's an actual invocation where you're calling the elements. Hear ye now, all living things. Hear ye now, fire, air, water, earth. Hear ye now. See what I'm saying? Spirit man speaks from the highest planes of life. This is who's calling. This is who's speaking now. The spirit man is calling. Hear ye now, all protoplasts, living things. He's calling them and commanding them and invoking them for his own purpose, and can direct the lightning, can direct the thunder, and so on and so forth, bro. That's more science.
right. That's what make it a science.
See, more science is a science, and Islamism is the religion.
Okay. Okay. So now to go back to the subject of, we're already on there now.
Yeah.
So you've experienced this rain coming down, thunder, etc.
Yeah.
What's your background as far as the occult, if you can share that?
Well, I have a vast background in the occult, man. I'm an initiate of a couple of different sacred orders. I'm an initiate of a couple of different Sufi orders. I'm an initiate of a couple of martial spiritual orders. I was a Freemason. I went through the lodge. You know what I'm saying? I'm also highly adept in the science of hoodoo. My family is from Mississippi. I mean, my grandmother, my grandfather were very high in certain sciences. Yeah, I mean, dealing with the elements, dealing with nature, dealing with graveyards, dirt, and all that type of stuff, man.
Okay. So if you can give us like a idea of what you've been through as far as Sufism, if you could build on that, real quick.
Okay, well, Sufism is what they call the inner teachings of Islam. And in Islam, you have what they call inner and outer teachings, right? And you have Sharia, and then you have what they call Tasawwuf. Sharia is the outer law, is the Quran, the laws of the Sharia laws, and so on and so forth. And then you have Tasawwuf. Tasawwuf is the inner laws, the spiritual, the unseen. And a lot of that is simply based around, it's mystical, it's mysticism. It's based around the abjad, which is the numerical values of the Arabic numbers and the letters themselves. Hurufism, where you study the study of actual Arabic letters as well as the Hebrew letters and their ability to transform into talisman, or to turn into sigils, or to be used for or to be integrated or cross-integrated with other sciences such as combat. You know what I'm saying? Such as, Salat, or maybe even hoodoo, combining Sufism with hoodoo, combining hoodoo with Salat, and so on and so forth. Because when you study ancient indigenous combat systems, there's mysticism that's attached to it. You know what I'm saying? Which is what's missing in our combat systems today. There's no mysticism, there's no spiritual science that's attached to it at all, and you're missing the big picture. You're missing the big picture. You know what I'm saying? So there's certain things that has to be understood when it comes down to the occult, because the occult is not just people thinking about devils and witches and evil things. Remember, I said that the occult means hidden knowledge. Also, the occult is being able to take that hidden knowledge and apply it fuse it into other things. 1 second. Appreciate it, man. I'll take some. Thanks, man. Yeah, that's my son-in-law. Excuse me. Son-in-law just brought me some ginger beer, man. I love ginger beer. Man. He brought me some ginger beer. That's yeah, cute. Man. So where was I at, bro? Before I got interrupted. Pardon me.
You were talking about martial sciences and, it doesn't have it's like missing that piece, right? And that for me, I'm noticing like with the forms, right? The forms are sharp with angles, like 90-degree angles, 45, 90-degree, 45, 90-degree, 45. And it's like when you're moving your feet on the floor, it seems like they're making some kind of like
a pattern.
Right.
A pattern. See, when you're doing kata, imagine taking your kata and taking, say, I don't know, say a straight punch, taking that straight punch, and when you punch, you visualize the Arabic letter Aleph. You know what the Aleph look like? Look like a straight line.
Okay.
It's the axis. It's the divine axis. It even has a meaning. So imagine your punch coming an Aleph. Your punch turns into an Aleph visually. So whatever you visualize with that blow, it actually becomes that, because it makes it so. It's transmission, words of power, mantras, added to the strikes, added to the movement, the sliding of the foot into a horse stance. You may say you may say ba. The ba is the B. You know what I'm saying? In the Arabic, in the visualization of it, you know, it's like all of that stuff is relevant, bro. It all coincides and it all coexists. For instance, in Silat, there's a method in Silat. There's a sorcery method in Silat where you charge and consecrate your blade. Your blade becomes a living spirit because you ritualize it. You consecrate it. You put words of power or certain prayers on the blade, literally on the blade. They're etched into the blade, literally. So when the blade is breathed upon, or certain things don't, the blade has its own mission.
Vibration. Okay.
Yeah, vibration, frequency, and a mission. It has a purpose, right? So you may see those gentlemen, those same cats, they may have a bag on their shoulder or something wrapped around their waist. Down south, they call it mojo bags or gree-grees. You will hear that in the old talk in the South. I got my mojo working. I got my mojo working.
Yeah.
Well, that's the mojo bag that they're carrying. That's filled with certain types of things that either brings protection, that brings other types of frequencies around you. People like that are never alone. They got things working all the time around them, unseen things. A lot of times it's spirits, frequencies, graveyard spirits. It's a lot of different things, but they control them.
Okay, can you explain like these spirits, right? So coming from the 5% nation, most 5%, I want to say most, I'm going to say some 5%ers would say, you know, we don't deal with spirits and things like that. So, you know, I think it's just the word that gets misconstrued. Now,
it does get misconstrued, brother, because anybody who understands the science, first of all, the word spirit is spiritus. It's a Latin word, right?
Okay, spiritus, yeah.
Yeah, it means breath.
Right.
So how we don't believe in spirit? Because it's breath. It's spirit that's got you talking. To say I don't believe in spirits and spooks, it's breath or spirit or a spook that got you speaking. right? Breath. So when we're dealing with spirit or spirits, you're dealing with frequencies. Everything is vibration, frequency, or sound that has taken on a form. This, us, we're a frequency. We're a pure frequency in a physical form for this plane of existence, designed for this plane of existence. Yet we're not the body that we're using. This is just the tool this is the vehicle that we're using for this plane of existence. We express soul expressions through a physical form. Yet you can't see the soul, but you can see the expressions of the soul through this physical form. That's magic. That's unseen, because the authentic you is unseen. But we see the expression of the unseen through the seen. We can't see Allah, but we say Allah is seen and heard everywhere, but we can't see him, but we can see and hear him everywhere, but we can't see him. But we can see and hear him everywhere. So then obviously we can see him. If he's seen and heard everywhere, then we can see Allah. But what is Allah to each individual? You understand
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What is Allah to the individual who sees Allah or not? It is the same thing with these sciences. You know what I mean? Like crossroad science. Every city, every inner city has a crossroad, bunches of them, where you can stand and see four corners. For every place has a crossroad, and every place that has a crossroad, there has been some work done on that very crossroad in that place. New York City, Chicago, they all got crossroads. And a lot of those areas got things that protect it or things that's attached to it. That's why certain blocks are known for death, because nothing happens on it but death, because what's on that block, it has to be fed with blood. So death happens all the time. And most of those blocks are protected or shrouded with low frequency spirit. Anything that's, low frequency spirit. And then the people take the spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like, even the way we wear clothing, the colors we wear. We wear black. We wear black. Our children wear black a lot. The children wear a whole bunch of black all the time. All the time. Hoodies, covered, all the time, man. Just all the time.
So what's the science with black?
Well, in the occult sciences, black represents Satan or Saturn. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you see it's the lowest vibration, but that's only in the science of, because black has another meaning in another school. And this is what I be telling people as well, depending upon the school that you're dealing with or that you're dealing from, things don't mean the same things. They take on different understandings and they take on different tones. Depending on the schools you come out of, and because it takes on a different tone, it takes on a different outcome. Because when you buy into a mass agreement, brother, you become the agreement. You said earlier, the dude touched you on your forehead and you passed the fuck out.
Yeah.
You kind of bought into a consciousness mass agreement. He did something to you, but he was doing something to everyone. And and you were sitting inside of bro. Whenever you go somewhere, you're not the only spirit there now. Everybody else in there it's a bunch of spirits now. A whole bunch. And some of those people or some of those bodies have some things attached to them. It's easy for someone to walk in who's not acclimated to what's happening in that place and get caught up in the vibration, the frequency, and all of that. It's mass agreement. It's a spirit. It's spiritual. It's like hypnotism. You know what I'm saying? Was music playing?
Music was playing.
Okay, exactly. And was it getting faster and faster? Was the tone speeding up? it would start. The tone was slow. You first of all, look at me, watch me. You rocking first. The tone is slow. The tone
Nah,
is
I
slow.
wasn't rocking though. I wasn't rocking.
Not you. I'm not you. Not you.
Oh, okay,
I'm
okay.
talking about the people. The tone is slow, and then next thing you know, the tone get faster. Everybody start clapping the tone, and people rolling around. The drums faster. Everything speeds up because that's a part that the drum is the door. The drum is the door. The drum is a sound. It's a vibration.
King Mathallah, and my culture black ain't say it's God, but yeah, that's what the God said already. He said that, you know, these words that we use, it depends on who's basically saying them and how you knowledge them. It's based on the individual.
Yeah, and when you're talking about Satanism, you're talking about Satanism came because of Christianity. Satanism is a manifestation of Christianity. The Bible talks about Egypt a whole lot. It talks about how it's polytheist, so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. Now, if you look at Satanism closely and examine it, all of the symbolisms of Satanism is Egyptian. The eye of Amun-Ra, Ma'at, that's a satanic deity to Christianity. The Ankh, all of that stuff is satanic to Christianity. It's the answer to Christianity's scariness. Here's Satanism. But understand, in the African traditions, there's no Satan. So that don't even vibe with us. And even in indigenous traditions, there's no Satan. There's no devil. There's man. Just like somebody taught. Who made the devil? Well, what is the devil? Who made God? What is God? One man's God is another man's devil. Indeed, but man himself is just the devil. He's a devil too. In thought. His actions can be devilish. You know what I'm saying? So who made devil? Did Elohim make the devil? Did God make the devil? Or did God just make man? Now man has the choice, a higher self or a lower self. Man has the ability to become God or devil. So did God make a devil or did God just make man? You feel where you understand where I'm coming from?
Indeed, indeed.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
oh, El Divine. Peace, El Divine. What's going on, El Divine? What's up with you?
I mean, he ain't lying. According to the lessons, he's not. That's an actual fact he just spit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. See, you know what about us? We love the good things about us. All the good stuff. But there's some wicked stuff too. We got to learn to take it all. We got to learn to take the whole story. We can't pick and choose the good stuff and the bad stuff. Take the whole story because that's what makes us a great people. Is who we were and who we are, what we come from, where we've been, how resilient we are, how we beat this, how we transform, how we change. We're adaptable, swift and changeable, adaptable. That's what we've always been. Our whole history has been adaptation. And we still adapting right now as we speak. So when it comes down to these sciences, I tell people all the time, study Haiti, study the Haiti Revolution, study the Haitian Revolution, study Boukman, the Muslim, who was also a Hogun. Boukman, the Muslim, was Muslim, but he was a Hogun, a Haitian voodoo master, mixing Haitian voodoo with Sufism, Islam, mixed together and turned in and created a hell of a fusion. And this is what we're not doing. What we need to be doing today is mixing these sciences because they mean something. They're all in our hands. But we ain't being scientists. We ain't mixing 1/3 this and 1/3 that to create a mixture that's out of this world, B. But that's how I operate. I've been one who's always dealt with fusion. I was taught to add on, so I always add on to everything. And I pull from other things. I pull the best parts from other things and bring them into me. Yeah, indeed. Zoroastrianism as well. Christianity, 100%. Ahura Mazda. And you know, and Zoroastrianism deals a lot with fire and flames. There's a lot of flame or fire science in Zoroastrianism, as well as the Kemetic science of the lake of fire in Anubis, taking you into the underworld across the lake of fire for purification, for the soul to be purified. But Christianity just tells you that there's just the lake of fire that you will burn in forever. See the parallels?
Indeed.
So,
Indeed.
So yeah, man. So it's all of these sciences, to me, brother, they're very, very real and they coincide. And we have to become more studious and not limit ourselves to just one school of thinking, because our people sit in every school. If you were a real master, you would be able to walk and sit in every chair and have something to offer in every chair you sit in, because of where you have sat, where you have walked, you know what I'm saying, where you have, you know what I'm saying, met yourself and all that type of stuff, man.
All right. To take it to, so you spoke about Sufism, right? And you mixed it with hoodoo. Now explain what hoodoo is.
Hoodoo is the religion of our people in the South, pretty much. Hoodoo is just an offshoot of what they call voodoo. From our perspective on these shores, from those who came over in the descendancy. I mean, you got family from down south, brother?
Oh yeah, for sure.
You ever been down south?
Yeah. Yeah.
So where were you at? What's it? What Georgia, Florida?
Texas.
Texas. Okay. Yeah. So you'll see some things, like you'll see things and maybe stuff like the broom getting swept on your foot and they spit on the broom.
Right.
Yep. Or they'll take salt, washing salt, throw it over the left, or put salt in front of the doorway, a line of salt in front of the doorway. Or they'll take the Bible and put it on the 23rd Psalm and lay it on the bed and burn a candle next to it, and so on and so forth. That's all. Those are all tenets of hoodoo. That's basics. The book, the Psalmic sorcery, using the Psalms for sorcery work, because the Psalms are magic. The Psalms can be used to cause things to happen. Used properly, the right time of day, right planetary alignments, and so on and so forth. It's a science, B. You got to know the days of the week. You got to know what angel rules Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, what planet rules, and so on and so forth. It's not just something that you just, it's not just some type of little game. It's science.
Okay. So if you can give me a little more about hoodoo, because I know the Gullah Geechee.
Yeah, the Gullah Geechees, hoodoo, voodoo, it's a combination, because they got a over on the Gullah in South Carolina, they got a whole African village over there. I forgot the name of the village. But there's the Olatunji, I think it's the Olatunji village. But it's an African village. It's West African village, you know what I'm saying? They've maintained the West African traditions. And then you got the Gullah Geechees who maintain, you know what I'm saying, their situations, and you see the hoodoo through the church. It's all in the church. You know what I'm saying? The prayer bags, the prayer rituals, the prayer cloth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I forgot about all of that.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that. Wow. Okay.
Red dirt, nail spikes, graveyard dirt, railroad spikes. You know what I'm saying?
My thing is, like, what's the validity of all of this? Like, does this stuff work? You know, have you seen any?
Brother, it works. It works. It works. It definitely works. It works. It works because it's you working. It's you working the ethers, man. It works. It's magic. It works. Beat spells, beat cases. It works. It works. I can't validate it for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I would have to.
The only way
myself,
exactly. The only way something of that nature could be validated for you is you having your own infinite experience, your own personal experiences with that science, B. But I can tell you, that is very real. The science of the ancestors. You know, you may have walked into a house down south and you see it, and you know they got altars in the house. Got an altar where you know you might not see it. You might not call it an altar, but you may have seen a table in somebody's house down south with a whole bunch of pictures of the family, people who are passed away, all on the table, decorated with a bunch of little things all over the tables or whatever. But ain't nobody on that table picture alive, and you will never see a person who's alive on a table with people who passed away, because the altar is a doorway.
Okay, explain that altar is a doorway. Okay, explain that part right there.
You use your altar to open doors, spiritual doors, astral doors, portal doors. And you have to be careful with mirrors. Very careful with mirrors, especially old mirrors. Never go to an antique store and buy a mirror from it, man. You see what I mean? Just don't. If you do, take that mirror and sit it outside in the sun for about a day or so, man. Two or 3 days, man, so you can cleanse it. Because you got to remember how mirrors in the old mirrors were made, man. The old mirrors were made with certain types of ingredients that can hold frequencies. So you may look in the mirror and somebody else's face show up. And the mirrors can also be portals. Things can come through the mirror.
That's the thing. The only thing I experienced is what I explained earlier. But
right.
Now, as far as like energies and all of that, like, I mean, I could say I've experienced some other weird things too, but I don't know if it was my eyes. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Right. Well, you know, frequencies, man. Sometimes other worldly entities use frequencies and sounds and things to speak through, like white noise on the TV when the white noise, or even white noise on the radio. Sometimes they also use your lighting system, electricity, lights and shit. Like they use a lot of they do a lot of they work in different ways depending on what you working on, man.
Okay. So as far as like, you know, quote unquote spirits and things of that nature, you know, what's the science with that? Like from what I'm learning, right? What I'm gathering is that these energies, like, so if we could look at it more as like energy, right?
Yeah, you can. I see that. I can see that. Like when you think about the 7 African powers, or the Orishas, what they call them in Voodoo, the Orishas, the 7 African powers, or in Santeria, the 7 African powers, or whatever. Ogun, Yemaya, Shango, Oya, Oshun. You ever heard those names before?
Yeah.
Right. So some people teach that these beings actually lived. Some teach that these beings actually lived and that they became ancestors and they became elemental forces. Some people teach that these 7 African powers already exist within you. You understand? Like they're frequencies or energies that are already a part of your makeup. When you're using these sciences, what you're doing is you're drawing that frequency up, or you're drawing it out. It's already a part of you, quote unquote. You know what I'm saying? Like you got 7 chakras, 7 African powers, 7 Elohim. Are all of these things a part of you already? You know what I'm saying? Because you got to remember what is the makeup of man? What is man? And what is his physiology? You see what I mean? So why do we have a pituitary gland, a pineal gland, and a hypothalamus gland? And why is there 3 wise men in the book? And I just named 3 parts in your brain. You know what I mean? So a lot of things tie right back to you. The biggest mystery is man himself, but he's outside of his own self seeking answers when the whole mystery is his own self. Everything else is just an introduction to you through signs, symbolism, and allegory, in stories with great names that the initiate only understands and that the profane mind don't get. They just see it as a story. But initiation makes a difference. When you become initiated into certain things, there's things that come along with initiation depending upon what schools of thinking you're going into. You know what I mean? And an initiate knows things that the average person won't know.
Right. But no man or woman has ever come back to say, hey, you know, this thing exists, that exists. So how do we deal with that?
What you mean? Because we got people.
No man has came back from the or come back from
come back from the dead. Right.
Yeah.
Well, you have people, quote unquote, who died for 2 or 3 minutes and came back. You know what I'm saying? They gave their little visions or whatever. But what is death? Because I'm taught, and from my studies, I can't die. I can throw my body away, but I can't die. There is no death. The body disintegrates. The body has a time constraint with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just like going to jail, B. You know how you in jail, you behind the wall, you do good time behind the wall, you get out. And you know, good things happen to you from behind the wall because you did your good time and you transition, so on and so forth. Well, the body is a prison too. And we behind the wall with this thing called body. And if we do good time in the body, and when we're released, there's other good things happening for those who know when you're released. The more you gain while you have this body in your consciousness, the more you take with you when you leave this body. It's important to learn certain things so when you leave, you can use those things when you outside of this form.
The God said, my uncle died and came back too. He said it was just black.
That was his experience. Other people came back and said it wasn't black. It was other things. And everybody's experience is different. You know what I mean? So I've never been to that point. I've never physically tasted that what they call death or the stopping of my heart. Or I've never been to that point. You know what I mean? But what I have done is I've been outside of my body numerous times. Astral projection is a very, very real thing. And when you actually project, you go places.
See, my thing is I never experienced any of that. So that's why I'm so curious about it. And I think that, you know, doing a podcast on this on a regular basis is important to kind of like, I know there are certain things you can't speak on, you know, when you become a part of this. Hold on, how do you do it? How do you do it? I want to try it. Yeah, me too, God. I want to learn. I want to figure this out too. And I think that the only way you could do that is you have to kind of be initiated into these ciphers and things like that.
Well, astral projection is very, very easy. You could, I mean, we do it when we go to bed. You're doing it out of you're not able to control it. It's called, you call it dreaming. You're projecting. It's you call it dream, but your soul is traveling, bro. And we call it dreams. You know what I'm saying? Now, be able to do that consciously while you're awake, where you don't have to go to sleep, and you know what I mean, where you lie through meditation, breathing, visualization, and it's a wrap. Whatever
this is a good one. Just remember how to get back. Some went insane. I hear this too a lot.
Well, because they didn't pay attention to the core that they're attached to. Your soul can never get lost, bro. If you don't have knowledge, you may not know, but you're gonna come back to your body. But like you said, you may come back a little off. You know what I mean? But 9 times out of 10, when you astral project, you're gonna see you're not gonna go too far. You're not gonna, what's what I'm looking for? A person with knowledge of self will be fine astrally projecting. Like, I mean, I can't, you know, and maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but I've never had a problem getting back ever. Because the home base is my physical form. It's sitting in lotus position somewhere. And I'm without, you know, or laying or whatever, I'm off. I'm gonna come back to my source. How do you get lost? Unless you talk to an astral entity and they take you, you allow yourself to be talked and taken somewhere or something. You know what I mean? But that don't happen with me, man.
So you actually seen astral entities?
Yeah. Who does? If you astral, yeah, you've seen them too in your dream state.
Listen, man, in my dream state, I saw some kind of weird. Like 2 weeks ago, a friend of mine, close friend of mine, I had a dream that I saw his dad smoking a cigarette. His dad is not is no longer with us now. I like, yo, I asked, I said, yo, did your pop smoke cigarettes? He said, yeah, my pop did smoke cigarettes. I said, what
See,
the
see, 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 and that mean pops ain't dead either. Pop somewhere enjoying a cigarette.
I don't know, cause that situation, like stuff that I see, man, is kind of weird. Like,
Bro, yes, that's why it's supposed to be weird for you to make sense of it. Like, huh? What? And you just said it, bro. Did your pop smoke cigarettes? Yeah, he did. Why is you seeing his pops, man?
well, me and this brother just reconnected after not really building with each other for, like, we always build, but we haven't seen each other in the physical in a while, and we seen each other in the physical, and then I would say, matter of fact, before we even seen each other in the physical, I had this dream. After we was
Ah,
talking for a
okay.
while,
And then you ran into him.
and then I saw him in the physical after that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know. That's why I said, like, this is why I'm curious about it, because I see some shit happening. Like,
Bro,
oh,
you getting all types, you getting all types of answers, bro. You getting all types of confirmations. You want somebody to just walk through your door, be like you just sit in your living room and somebody just like walk through the door, not open it up and walk, but just come through the door. If you see that, you'll be all right. Would
I'll
I
be
do
all
it
right.
for you?
Yeah. Somebody got to come through and say, yo, we here. Like,
Yeah, if you wake up tonight, you may go to bed, wake up, and your grandmother at the foot of your bed. Like, boy, what more you need? You know what I'm saying? Like, we here. All you gotta do is talk to us. We'll show up. Call us.
another
One
weird
thing,
thing happened. Another weird thing. I'm not on no spooky. I'm
bro,
just
you're
like,
not spooky at all. I fully understand where you're coming from. It's not spooky, brother.
this is another thing that happened. My sister died years ago, right? And I'm just like, I'm like, I'm thinking about my sister. I'm thinking about my sister, right? And I'm like, you know what, man? I went to her gravesite one time since she's been gone. I said, yo, I want to go a second time. You know what? Let me pick this Sunday, right? I'm like, yo, ma, I want to go to Sean gravesite this Sunday. She said, you know what this Sunday is, right? I'm like, nah. This Sunday is her death's anniversary.
Mm.
I'm like, what? Like this, like stuff like this is kind of, I don't know, man.
Bro, she hit your sister hit you, bro. She hit you up. That's why you start thinking your sister hit you up, man.
I don't know, bro. I'm just trying to figure this shit out, though.
Bro,
And
all I'm gonna tell you, bro, all I'm gonna say is this: we don't die, bro. We don't die. We don't die. It's not the final. Leaving the physical form is not the final. It's not the final destination, man. It's not. Think about. Think about the history, your ancient ancestors
okay,
before any religion. Think about in all the indigenous religions, or not even in religions, but all the indigenous cultures, they deal with ancestral worship and gratitude and ancestral reverence. You know what I'm saying? They even do spiritual rituals and initiations and rituals around going to the ancestral land in the spirit world to speak to their ancestors. Kind of like how your boy did in Wakanda movie when he went back and was talking to the ancestors, and they were all standing there, and he was in the spirit world. That's our reality. That there is no white dude in heaven sitting around with a list saying, okay, oh, good, you go to the left, you go to the right, checking people's names off, saying you was good, you did good, and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? So we have to learn to get back to that, our ancestral sciences, man, because this is where we will become strong again, man. Because chasing after the strange idols of different nations of people has gotten us where?
Nowhere.
How does those who were once worshipped become worshipers? Something happened along the way. We gave up some of our own things to do something else. And in the process, you gave your soul away, man. That's when you give it, when you give up your spiritual, when you give up your source energy, it's a wrap. Drop your God to pick up another God. The God of your people for 10,000 years, you drop that deity to pick up another God of your foreign enemies, and you bask in it. You know what I mean? There's a consequence to pay, man. There's a consequence to pay. We have to go back to what our ancestors left for us, man. We got to go back to those indigenous sciences. Your moms was doing voodoo. You've been around it all you've been around it all your life, bro. And that's when we miss things. When we around it all our lives, because it's just so normal. We just, you know what I mean? It's just, no, that's what mom do. That's what mom do. Yeah, it ain't nothing. You know what I mean? We don't think about it because it's just around us. You know what I'm saying? But it's around you and it's been around you. So it's on your DNA. It's on you, man. You know what I mean? And as time progresses, you will come into this working information. You will come into it as you are. You're being led. You're being guided right now, bro. I'm not talking about by me. You're being guided. You're gonna be guided right to these sciences. You're being guided. That's why your interest is there. That's why you all of a sudden you got an interest in the occult and all of these things. You know why? Because you've mastered a particular rudimentary science already. You understand the science of initiation in a sense because you God. You had to manifest 120. You had to know the supreme alphabet. You had to know the supreme math. You had to be able to recite those with an understanding. You had to be able to go to 0 to 9. You had to do that. That's an initiation. You know what I'm saying? So you're an initiate in one science already. You're an initiate in a number of other sciences, martial sciences. You're an initiate. See, you're an initiate in sciences already. Now, the thing is, whatever martial arts that you are initiated in, find the spirit side of those arts. Find the
hold up. That's what I've been trying to do. I've been asking questions. I've been saying like, so, you know, because you know with Kali, PTK, I'm like, so what did they like? What was their spiritual side?
I'm gonna tell you why. Hold up. Prakiti Tersha, that's what Leo Gaji, right?
Yep.
Leo Gaji, if I'm not mistaken, he's a Christian.
I think so.
So he's not going to tell you about Anting. He's not going to tell you about the sorcery. He's not going to tell you those things because he's a Christian. So you're going to miss that with him. I'm giving you something right now. Write this word down. Get a pen and write this word down.
All right.
You ready?
Yep.
I'm going to spell it for you. Anting. One word.
Anting.
Say that word.
Anting.
Say it twice.
Anting.
Look Anting up right now. Do it if you can right quick. Look it up. Google it real fast.
All right.
And read it and read the definition of it. Read what it says.
The term Anting can refer to two distinct things. One, anting, behavior. This refers to the maintenance behavior observed in birds and some mammals like squirrels, where they rub insects and
Nah, put Kali next to it. Like put anting, put Kali, put magic, or Arnis, Arnis magic.
oh, here it is now. Oh, you said anting. Okay, I just put
Yeah,
anting. So
yeah.
anting is a Filipino term for amulets or charms, often believed to possess magical properties and protective powers. It's also a system of Filipino folk magic and sorcery that utilizes these amulets. These items, ranging from simple objects like stones or dried fruit to more elaborate pendants, are thought to offer protection, strength, and even prosperity to the wearer.
Yep, yep. And you see that in a lot of systems. I just mentioned to you about Grigri bags and mojo bags in Hoodoo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this is universal science, B. Amulets, talismans worn on the body. You know what I'm
But
saying?
even
Making
with
the body.
Kali,
Huh?
the triangle.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Kali, the triangle.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. So, and that's Filipino. Indonesia has sorcery, Javanese sorcery that's connected to the Sila. You understand what I mean? I'm creating a system, the grave iron system of my combat connected with hoodoo, visualization, and Harufisms and other things, B. You know what I'm saying? So it's time, man. Like, it's time to do these things. We slipping.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Oh, I'll call it back. It's my daughter. I'll call it back.
Well, I was just about to say we're an hour in.
Oh, okay.
We're an hour in. Your daughter called at the right time. Thank you for coming out this evening. Really appreciate you. We're gonna do wizards, warlocks, spooks, and holy ghosts again. Occult. The next time you're up, alternate Friday.
All right, no doubt. Let's do it.
All right, we're gonna just keep building on this and go in depth on this, and I'll come back with some findings. All right.
Yeah, yeah, do that.
Indeed. Peace to everybody in the chat. I really
Peace.
appreciate y'all, and we are out of here.
Peace.
Peace.